You may not realize it, but there's a part of you exhausted from pretending, tired of trying to be strong, tired of always acting okay, tired of smiling when inside you want to scream. You might not remember the last time you told someone, "I'm not okay." Or worse, you don't dare say it anymore, afraid it makes you seem weak. But I want you to know, weakness isn't a sign of failure. It's a natural part of being human. And sometimes admitting you're weary is the first step to starting anew. This video might make you cry, not because I want to hurt you, but because sometimes tears are the first sign you've touched a truth you've hidden for too long. What you're about to hear isn't lofty philosophy or comforting platitudes. It's 7 simple truths often overlooked by you, by those around you, and by a world too rushed to pause and feel. If you've ever felt lost in your own life, if you've woken up wondering, why am I doing all this? If you sense something vital within you is being neglected, this video is for you. And if you see yourself reflected in these words, leave a comment below. It doesn't need to be long. Just one word, I'm still here. That's your affirmation that you're choosing to stay, to face, to heal, and to begin. Number 1, we always procrastinate and miss out on life. We tell ourselves, I'll do it tomorrow, when I'm less busy, when I'm ready, when things settle down. But tomorrow isn't a promise, it's an illusion, a self-soothing lie to feel in control. We don't procrastinate because we don't know what to do. We procrastinate because deep down we're afraid. Afraid to start, afraid to fail, afraid that once we try, we'll realize we're not as good, strong, or valuable as we thought. The irony is, procrastination silently steals life's most precious things: youth, passion, opportunities. Those mornings you planned to wake up early to exercise but lingered 5 more minutes. Those calls you meant to make to reconnect but thought, another day is fine. Those dreams you once had but shelved, thinking there's time later. Then one day you look back and realize, it's not that you didn't have chances, you didn't dare seize them. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. There's no such thing as a perfect moment. Time doesn't pause for your plans. It keeps moving, carrying away emotions, people, and possibilities once within reach. The painful truth is, you won't see what you've missed until it's too late. A parent you thought would always be there to call later. A friend you loved but assumed you'd see again. An idea you were excited about but left in an old draft because of one lazy morning. Life doesn't take from you in one swift grab. It chips away bit by bit. Each time you procrastinate, you hand over a piece of your life. Here's the thing. Procrastination often disguises itself as a good excuse. I'm waiting for the right time. I need a better plan. I'll do it when I'm fully prepared. It sounds reasonable, mature even. But look closer. Most of those excuses stem from fear. We fear judgment, so we delay to avoid scrutiny. We fear falling short, so we delay to have an excuse. We fear finishing and finding nothing left to anticipate, so we delay to cling to preparation. But in waiting, you lose yourself. Each time you refuse to act, you reinforce a false belief. I'm not good enough. Over time, you start to believe it. What's scarier than procrastination is how we get used to it. We accept missing our own deadlines. We normalize not doing what we want. We lose our spark. We stop planning. We stop expecting. We stop dreaming. And when that happens, it's not just dreams that die. It's the part of your soul that once had the power to ignite. I know you've had moments of fire. Maybe you wanted to write a book, start a YouTube channel, learn a new skill, send an apology letter, share something honest with someone. But you waited for time, for motivation, for confidence. And now you still haven't done it. So let me ask, when will you ever feel enough? The answer is, you'll never feel enough if you don't start. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after trying, failing, messing up, and adjusting. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need the courage to start imperfectly. All you need today is to decide not to let another day pass without moving closer to what you truly want. Remember this: what you procrastinate on today is what you'll regret most when your time runs out. No one regrets starting too soon, but many ache for not starting sooner. If you won't act for yourself now, act for the person you'll become, the one who'll thank you for not delaying any longer. If something in this hits a nerve, that's where you should begin. You don't need to change your whole life today. Just do one small thing. Rewrite a plan. Call that friend you've avoided. Finish an unfinished task. Reopen a forgotten project. Or simply sit for 10 minutes and listen to yourself. One small act. Do it now. Do it real. And do it again tomorrow. If you've lost too much time to procrastination, leave a comment below. I'll start today. No details needed, no explanations. Just a statement strong enough to stop excuses. Give yourself the chance to be proud. And if you know someone with potential who's stuck, always hesitating to start, share this video with them. Sometimes the right words at the right time can change how someone lives the rest of their life. Finally, if you need a place to remind yourself to stop delaying, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't wait for the perfect moment to change. We change the moment we decide we're done procrastinating. Number 2, we misjudge what truly matters. We spend our lives chasing things others say are important. High grades, degrees, fame, money, success, fancy cars, big houses, a perfect social media image. We believe in a pre-written script that if we achieve these things, we'll be happy. But what no one tells you is this: you can have it all and still feel empty. Not because you failed, but because you focused on the wrong things in life. From an early age, we're programmed to believe our worth lies in measurable things. Test scores, likes, income, admirers. We judge ourselves by numbers, compare ourselves to others and think, if I'm not better than someone else, I'm losing. But we fail to realize that in this chase, we lose the most important thing: our ability to feel and live true to ourselves. We work tirelessly to afford the latest phone, but don't have time to reply to a heartfelt message. We strive for a high position at work, but forget our parents are aging every day. We hustle to earn money for our kids, but never sit down to talk with them. We curate a dazzling life, but wake up each morning uninspired by it. I'm not saying success is bad or that you should live in poverty to be profound. I'm saying you need to know what truly matters to you, not the world. To someone else, a sports car might be the goal, but for you, it might be a simple family dinner without work distractions. To society, career success might be admirable, but for you, it might be an ordinary job that brings you peace each morning. If you don't define what matters, others will do it for you. And when they do, you'll be stuck in a race you didn't sign up for, chasing prizes you don't need. Have you ever paused and asked yourself, are all these things I'm striving for what I truly want? Or are they just what society wants you to want? Look at your life. Look at your schedule. Look at what you spend your time on each day. What are you giving your most precious attention to? You spend more time on work than on your kids. You spend more money on phones than on your health. You care more about your social media image than your true feelings. You remember payday more than a loved one's birthday. That's not wrong, but it says a lot about what you've prioritized. One day when the external stuff is gone, when the praise stops, the career ends, and no one's watching, what's left? That's the real you without a role to play. That's your presence with loved ones. That's the quiet moments when you sit alone, needing nothing to prove your worth. The sad truth is this: many only realize what matters after it's gone. When parents are no longer here, we see every missed call was a lost chance. When a relationship breaks, we realize no text was more important than the look in their eyes. When health fails, we see those late nights finishing important work meant nothing when our body can't get up. The cost of misjudging what matters isn't failure. It's regret. You can succeed by society's standards but fail your own soul. You can please the world but lose your self-respect. And no victory is worth hating the person you see in the mirror. Start with the simplest thing. Ask yourself every day, what matters today? Which relationship needs more care than work? What words should you say instead of holding back? What action will you regret not taking? And which of the things you're chasing are just burdens in disguise? Not everything you do is meaningless, but if you don't pause to check, you'll turn yourself into a machine churning out results, no longer feeling what's truly alive in you. Living without awareness is the fastest way to turn a life full of potential into an empty shell that only accumulates, never enjoys. If you've ever misjudged what matters, leave a comment below the video. I'm learning to live again. A single sentence, a quiet promise to stop straying too far from yourself. And if you see someone living the way you once did, chasing an image, trading away what's truly valuable, share this video with them. You might be the first to give them a chance to pause and reflect. Finally, if you want to keep searching for what truly matters, subscribe to the channel. Not because it's full of fancy words, but because it's a place that reminds you to return to what's most real. Number 3, we are stuck in the past and can't let go. Some things happened long ago, but they're still vivid within you. A cold glance, a hurtful word, an apology that never came, an opportunity you missed, a version of yourself you were, loved, or lost. Time moves on, but you don't. You're rooted in memories, living a life outside the present, blended with regret and self-reproach. If you're honest with yourself, you'll see you're not trapped by circumstances. You're trapped by your own past. We think time heals, but time just passes. It doesn't actively do anything. You're the one who must choose to heal. And to heal, you must face the past. Not to relive it, but to understand and let it go. The truth is, we don't want to let go. Part of us clings to pain as part of our identity, clings to someone who made us feel loved, clings to mistakes as self-imposed punishment, clings to memories as proof they were real, and we confuse remembering with reliving, unable to distinguish between honoring the past and letting it control the present. One of our biggest mistakes is thinking letting go means forgetting. It doesn't. Letting go means stopping the past from defining your present worth in emotions. You can remember without hurting. You can regret without living in regret. You can learn without sentencing yourself to invisible judgments every time you recall. I know you may have been deeply hurt. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe you ruined something good. Maybe you lost a chance that will never return. And each time you think of it, you feel drained. But let me ask, who are you punishing? That person may have forgotten, moved on to a new life. The situation is gone. Yet you carry it daily. You lock yourself in an emotional prison, holding the key and sitting in the dark. Letting go isn't about forgiving others. It's about freeing yourself. The scariest thing is when the past becomes your identity. You tell yourself, I'm the one who failed, was betrayed, made mistakes, lost something. And you live as if you can't be anything else. You fear starting because you failed before. You fear loving because you hurt before. You fear trusting because you were deceived before. And so the past repeats in your choices, not because of fate, but because you don't give yourself permission to rewrite your story. If you keep holding on to the old story, you'll never live a new chapter. Ask yourself, what story do you repeat daily? Who do you still think of silently? What mistake haven't you forgiven yourself for? Do you really want to live with that for the rest of your life? Letting go is an act of courage. It's telling yourself, I won't let the past define me for one more day. It's accepting that some questions will never be answered. Some apologies will never come. Some things are broken and can't be fixed. But the one thing you control is how you move forward. You don't need to forget someone to move on. You just need to accept they're no longer part of your path ahead. You don't need to start over to live better. You just need to start from where you stand, with all you have. Wounds, lessons, tears, and the quiet strength that's grown through every day you've survived. If you're reading this and your heart feels heavy, you probably know what you're holding on to. You may not be ready to let go completely. That's okay. Letting go is a process, not a single decision, but it needs to start. Maybe with one small act. Stop revisiting old photos. Stop searching their name. Stop replaying old stories in your mind like a stuck record. Just starting is enough to slowly unlock your heart. If today you let go of something, even something small, leave a comment below. I'm learning to let go. That statement is a gentle but powerful declaration. It's a sign you no longer want to be a prisoner of the past. If this resonates with someone you care about, someone stuck in old pain, share this video with them. Sometimes what they need isn't advice, but someone who understands where they hurt. And if you're ready to rebuild from your broken pieces, wanting a space where emotions are respected and recovery is encouraged, subscribe to this channel. We can't promise to heal you, but we can walk with you, step by small step, toward freedom. Number 4, we resist change. Even though it is inevitable, do you notice that most of our daily fears don't come from what's happening now, but from the possibility that things might change? You may not love your current job, but you stay because you fear the unknown. You may no longer feel the same about someone, but you cling to them to avoid the emptiness of their absence. You may be exhausted by your life as it is, but you hesitate to disrupt it because at least you know what it is. We fear change not because it's wrong, but because it strips away our sense of control. We're obsessed with stability, but stability doesn't exist. Life is a constant flow. People, emotions, circumstances, health, time, everything shifts. The issue is, you either learn to move with change or get swept away by it. How you respond to change determines your maturity and the quality of life you'll have. You don't have to love change, but you must learn not to fear it. The paradox is, change is the only certainty, yet it's what we're least prepared for. School doesn't teach you how to adapt. Family doesn't teach you how to let go. Society only teaches you to hold on to status, reputation, people, habits, as if losing them means losing yourself. But the truth is, who you are isn't in what you hold, but in how you transform and move forward. Why do we fear change? Because change means loss. Loss of familiarity, loss of safety, loss of a part of yourself you've long been tied to. And that forces you to face something even scarier, uncertainty. We don't know what's ahead, and fear of the unknown often outweighs any miserable reality. You'd rather stay with what hurts than step into the dark, unsure of what's there. But what's scarier than change is stagnation. When you feel your life is frozen, when each day is a copy of the last, when you wake up uninspired by anything, when you know you need to do something different but keep delaying. Deep down you know, change isn't just an option, it's mandatory if you want to live a life that's truly alive. No one will rescue you from stagnation. There's no perfect moment, no clear sign. Only one thing, that feeling inside, that if you don't break this cycle, you'll slowly lose your ability to feel life. If you don't dare to change, you'll live a life of quiet decay, familiar, safe, predictable, but lifeless. Change doesn't always start with a big act. Sometimes it begins with honesty, a moment when you stop and say, I don't want to live like this anymore. That's the first step. From there you can start asking, what's holding me back? What outdated habits do I repeat? What relationships drag me down but I still cling to? What job is killing my spirit but I keep doing for status or pay? When you get honest with yourself, you'll see much of what you call stability is just a gilded cage. It may be comfortable, familiar, safe, but it doesn't let you fly. And if you don't open the door, one day you'll look out, see the sky still blue, the wind still blowing, but your wings stiff from disuse. Change isn't always pleasant. It comes with pain, confusion, trade-offs. But that doesn't mean it's unnecessary. Some changes you choose. Some happen against your will. In both cases, you have a choice. Resist and suffer, or flow with it and grow. You can't control life's every shift, but you can choose to become a version of yourself better suited to face those changes by learning anew, by accepting loss as part of growth, by admitting no one owes you permanent comfort, by trusting that no matter what you lose, you still have one thing: the ability to renew. If you're at the threshold of change and feel scared, that's not wrong. It means you're alive. But don't let fear be why you stay still. Let it signal that what's ahead is where you need to go. If you've faced a major change, loss, leaving, starting over, and you're still here, leave a comment below. I've changed and I'm living truer. That could be a spark for someone afraid. If you know someone standing at a crossroads, lacking the courage to move, share this video. You can't change their life, but you can offer a moment of awakening. And if you want to continue this journey, facing, letting go, transforming, recovering, subscribe to this channel. Here we don't deny change. We learn to walk with it, slowly, trembling, but real. 5. We try to control things beyond our reach. Humans have a powerful instinct. We want to control everything around us. We want others to understand and love us as we wish. We want plans to unfold perfectly. We want emotions to stay in check. We want life to follow our script. And when things slip from our grasp, we panic. We cling harder, try to fix it, and obsess over unanswerable questions like, why did this happen? Or, how do I stop the next bad thing? Most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens, but from our desire to control what we can't. You can't control how others see you. You can't control who leaves. You can't control others' emotions, their choices, the weather, pandemics, accidents, or even the spontaneous thoughts in your own mind. Yet we try, and in that effort, we lose our peace. Have you been in a relationship where you overthought for the other person, guessing what they're feeling, whether they're upset or drifting away? You adjusted your behavior to ensure they wouldn't leave, but in trying to control, you lost your true self. Even if you kept them, you lost you. That's not love. It's fear disguised as love. Have you mapped out a detailed life plan? Graduate this year, job next year, house and car by 30, then felt like a failure when it didn't happen, even though you're still living, learning, trying? The issue isn't missing the goal. It's tying yourself so tightly to one script that you don't allow for a more flexible, authentic, possibly better life. Have you exhausted yourself curating your social media image, carefully choosing photos, crafting posts, chasing likes? You start living for others' gazes instead of your own feelings. When a post flops, your self-worth takes a hit, not because you're unworthy, but because you handed the key to your value to others. See the pattern? It all stems from wanting control over emotions, outcomes, people, the future. But anything outside you carries uncertainty. You can't control every situation, but you can control how you respond to it. That's your real power. Stoic philosophy calls this the dichotomy of control. One side includes what you can change, your attitude, choices, reactions, words, actions. The other side holds what you can't, what others think, how fast time passes, the past or the future. A mindful person distinguishes these. They don't waste energy on what's not theirs to change. They focus fully on what they can master. When you accept you can't control everything, you stop straining in vain. When you realize you're not responsible for others' emotions, you live more authentically. When you embrace the future's unpredictability, you live more flexibly. When you stop forcing outcomes, you enjoy the journey. This Stoic surrender isn't giving up. It's a conscious choice to stop wrestling with what's not yours, freeing your mind for what you can truly shape. You can't make someone love you, but you can live fully, love yourself, and offer them kindness. You can't guarantee a plan's success, but you can persist, learn, and adapt. You can't prevent misfortune, but you can build resilience to face it with steadiness. The more you try to control, the less control you have. But when you let go wisely, you reclaim mastery over yourself. Life doesn't demand you hold everything in your grip. It asks you to hold yourself. When you do, you stop reacting instinctively. You respond intentionally. That's true freedom. If you're tired from controlling too much, take a deep breath and make 2 lists. Things you're trying to grasp but can't, and things you can do better. You'll be surprised. Most worries lie in the first list, most power in the second. If you've navigated stress by loosening control, share in the comments. I'm learning to let go wisely. That quiet reminder could be a lifeline for someone lost in trying to control it all. If you know someone drained from gripping life too tightly, share this video. They might just need a nudge. You don't need to master the world. Mastering yourself is enough. And if you want to live lighter, freer, without shirking responsibility for yourself, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't dodge life, but we don't live to control it. We live to understand it, walk with it, and grow from it. Number 6, we fear death, but not a meaningless life. We fear death. It's a natural reflex, a survival instinct rooted in every cell of our being. We avoid talking about it, thinking about it, doing anything to shield ourselves from the idea of an end. But there's a far scarier paradox. While we dread death, few of us fear living a meaningless life. We go through days without truly living. We breathe, eat, work, talk, but it's all a repetitive routine, leaving no lasting taste. The modern world teaches us how to extend lifespan, but not how to make each day meaningful. We learn to invest, save, accumulate wealth, as if we'll live forever. But we don't learn to live fully in each moment, to love deeply or to pause and listen to ourselves. We plan for the future, acting like we have infinite time. Death is tucked away in the dark corners of our minds, dismissed with, "It's not time to worry yet." But the truth is, no one knows what tomorrow holds. And the worst isn't that you'll die. It's that you'll die without ever having truly lived. A meaningless life isn't a poor one. It's a life where you feel connected to nothing, where you work but don't know why, love someone but aren't fully present, exist in a world where everything seems fine, but nothing moves you. You're no longer excited, no longer surprised, no longer afraid, no longer alive. What kills us slowly isn't biological death. It's a numbed soul. When you stop questioning, stop yearning, stop wanting to make a difference, when you settle for a mediocre, monotonous, safe life, thinking it's enough. But in doing so, you trade true living for mere survival. People mourn dying young and talented with regret. But have you considered the opposite? Some live to 90 but spend 80 years following others' expectations, walking preset paths, never pausing to ask, "Is this the life I chose?" What's scarier, a physical death or a decades-long death of the soul? If you truly fear death, you should also fear wasting each day. Fear waking up unsure while you're getting out of bed. Fear passing a week without recalling a single new feeling. Fear working a job you hate for 40 years just for a paycheck. Fear not saying, "I love you" to someone you cherish because you dread rejection. Fear never trying because you might fail. All these, in a way, are forms of silent death. Stoic philosophy doesn't deny death. It urges you to think of it often, not to live in fear, but to remember you're alive. The concept of memento mori, remember you will die, changes how you live. When you grasp this, you stop wasting time on petty arguments. You don't let silence ruin relationships. You don't delay apologies, shy away from truth, or live a life borrowed from others' illusions. Death teaches you what truly matters. It makes you love more deeply because everything is temporary. It makes you grateful for small things, knowing they won't last forever. It makes you brave, because if you don't live fully today, there may be no tomorrow to fix it. Imagine, if you had 1 week left, what would you do differently? Would you still compare yourself to others online? Stay silent in strained relationships? Keep working a job that empties you just because you fear no other options? You might not change everything, but you'd live truer, clearer, deeper. The tragedy is, you could live like that now, but you choose not to. You don't need an extraordinary life, but if you live each day knowing it could be your last, you'll live differently. You won't wait for vacations to enjoy. You won't need weekends to relax. You won't need others' approval to feel worthy. Each moment becomes a gift, not because it's grand, but because it won't repeat. If you've experienced loss, a loved one, a friend, a part of yourself, you know the pang of wishing you'd live more fully when you had the chance. But that pain can fuel you, not to haunt you, but to wake you, to stop living half-heartedly, to stop delaying what matters, to build a life you won't regret when your eyes close. If you've feared death but now fear a meaningless life more, comment below, "I choose to live truly." That's not just words, it's a vow to yourself, to your deepest core, that from today you won't trade awareness for convenience, that you'll live intentionally even if no one understands, that you'll be grateful, brave, honest, because time is finite. If you know someone living like a shadow, breathing but not truly alive, send them this video. It might be the moment they realize death isn't the worst thing. The worst is living as if you'll never die. And if you want to continue this journey, living deeper, truer, more awake, subscribe to this channel. Here we don't fear death. We fear losing ourselves while we're still alive. Number 7, we avoid silence and are afraid to face ourselves. Have you noticed we live in a world of constant noise? Even when alone, you play music, turn on the TV, scroll social media, watch a video, or listen to a podcast. You keep your mind busy. And if there's a moment when you do nothing, just sit in silence, you quickly feel restless. Silence makes you uneasy. It forces you to face something you've long avoided, yourself. We dodge silence not because it's boring, but because it brings up everything unresolved. Old emotions, unanswered questions, wounded parts of you, abandoned dreams, past mistakes, things you don't want to confront. So instead of sitting with them, you turn on a screen. You scroll, you swipe, you stay busy. But that busyness isn't productivity, it's escape. Silence is the only place you can truly hear your inner voice. That's why it terrifies so many. In silence, you can't make excuses. You can't blame others. You can't play a role. You're left with yourself and the questions you've pushed away. Am I really happy? Whose life am I living? Am I truly content or just pretending? Many of us don't fear loneliness. We fear being alone with ourselves in that loneliness. We dread what surfaces when there's no one else to distract, no work to hide behind, no external noise to drown out our inner voice. But avoiding yourself doesn't break you. Running from yourself slowly wears you down, day by day. You might spend hours tracking others' lives online, but can't sit still for 10 minutes with yourself. You respond instantly to notifications, but ignore your own heart's queries. You know what celebrities are up to, but don't know what you need. It's a quiet, common paradox. And scarier still, it's become habit. Why is sitting in silence so vital? Because it's the only place you can be you. No script, no performance, no psychological makeup. Just you, raw, unfiltered, true. And from there, healing begins. You can't heal what you won't face. You can't change without seeing clearly who you are. Every great sage, spiritual practitioner, and philosopher from east to west shared one practice. They made time for silence. They knew truth doesn't come from external shouts, but from internal whispers. And you can't be heard without silence unless you hear them whispering. The noisy world will always overpower you unless you don't carve out quiet for yourself. Think, when was the last time you sat still? No phone, no screen, no music, just you and you. If it's been too long, that might explain why you feel disconnected, not from the world, but from yourself. And when you lose that connection, everything loses meaning. Success tastes empty, love feels shallow, joy passes quickly. The root is missing. Silence isn't empty. It's a container. It holds everything you've been too scared to see. It holds potential yet to bloom. It holds parts of you you've suppressed. And only by stepping into it can you reconnect with life more deeply. It's where you ask the big questions. Am I living true to my values? Am I honest with myself? What do I need that I haven't admitted? At first, silence might feel unbearable, like an old room you dread opening. But if you're brave enough to step in, you'll find treasures long forgotten. Ideas that once thrilled you, buried emotions, dreams shelved because others called them unrealistic, and parts of you, once so alive, now dormant because you stopped listening. Once you get used to silence, you won't fear it. You'll seek it like coming home. You'll find it not empty but full, not restrictive but liberating, and you'll realize you don't need others to feel complete. You just need to stop being a stranger to yourself. If you haven't tried this, start simple. 5 to 10 minutes daily, no devices, no noise, no agenda. Just sit, close your eyes if it helps, breathe. Let emotions, thoughts, sensations come and go. Don't judge, don't control, just listen, just be. It'll be hard at first. You'll want to get up, do something, grab your phone. But if you push past that urge, you'll start hearing what matters most, your inner call. If you faced yourself in silence and it changed you, share in the comments. I'm learning to listen to myself. That quiet invitation could spark something for others drowning in noise. If you know someone overwhelmed by the outside world, always busy, tired, lost, send them this video. They might not need more advice, but a real pause to ask, how long have I been distant from myself? And if you want to continue this journey, returning to yourself, living deeply, awake, unafraid of who you are, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't polish ourselves or speak in platitudes. We sit with truth and start living from there, silent yet vibrantly alive. If you've made it this far, I know something inside you is stirring. Maybe it's pain, maybe it's awakening, or maybe it's just a raw emotion you've pushed aside for too long, too busy just surviving. But now you're here, and that means you still have a chance. You still have a choice. You can still steer your life in a new direction, not with a grand leap, but with awareness, through small, deliberate actions starting today, right now. You don't need to fix your entire past. You just need to live rightly in the present. You don't need all the answers. You just need to start asking the important questions. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to return to yourself. The you you've forgotten. The you still waiting to be heard in moments of silence. If this video has touched you, leave a comment below. Write what woke you up most, or simply say, "I'm still here." That's your affirmation. To me and to yourself. Like this video if you think it's worth it. Share it with a friend who needs to hear this. And if you want to keep walking this path of living truly, deeply awake, subscribe to this channel. This isn't a place to escape reality. It's where you'll learn to face it and move forward on your own 2 feet.